Let's go. So, Parsha Shoftim, Rabbi Isai. Parsha Shoftim this week. Gewaldige Parsha. Let me mention to you a Gewaldige Pasuk on the Parsha, which I believe is a Gewaldige Yisoid, which you have to know for the Parsha. The Pasuk says like this, okay? Devarim Yud Zayin Yud Aleph, look it up. It's a beautiful Yisoid. Al Pia Torah Asher Yerucha, okay? According to the Torah that they'll teach you. Val HaMishpat Asher Yomer Lecha Taseh. And according to the judgment that they will tell you. Lo yisosu min hadover asher yagidu lecha yaminu smile. Don't deviate from that which they tell you, right or left. So Rabbi say over here, we have the makar for a pasuk in the Torah of telling us to listen to Das Torah, which is one of the most fundamental ideas of Yiddishkeit and a very, very important idea of this yeshiva, in fact, by the way, as well. And that is to have Das Torah, to understand that Das Torah coordinates and directs our lives. We don't live a life based on what we think is correct, because we are biased. And we grew up in an environment and grew up with ideals, and we saw things and we heard things that perhaps weren't the best things in the world, and therefore we always direct our lives according to the Torah. We look at the Torah to see what we should be doing. We look at Chazal. We look at our Gedolim, our Tzadikim, our Manhigim, the people that run our lives. These are the people that should be running our lives. And therefore, that's why when people have a Shaila, they go to their Rav, they go to their Rebbe, they go to the Godel, they go to the Tzaddik, in order to understand what do I do. And it's such an important thing. I always say this, and it's a true thing. If one of the only things that you will learn in this yeshiva, and in Mitzvah Hashem you'll learn a ton more, but if one of the only things you learn from this yeshiva is to have a Rebbe, to have Das Torah, to have direction in your life through Torah, then it was worth it. Because then the rest of your life will be run in the correct way. And the rest of your life, when you have shaylas in shidduchim, in marriage, in shalom bayis, in children, in chinuch, in work, in hashkafa, in whatever it may be, that you have a Rebbe, you have a Rav, that you have a tzaddik, a gadol, whoever it is that you connect yourself with, and he directs your life, that is the greatest thing you could do. You know why? Because then your whole life is going according to the Torah. And too many times people think that you could do things on their own. I'm good, Rabbi, don't worry, I know how to do things. I don't need any help. In fact, I spoke to a Rav in Flatbush not long ago, who's been a Rav for over 40 years. He's seen over 40 years of mispalim, of congregations, of people. And I asked him, do you see the difference between someone with a Rav and someone without a Rav? And he said he sees it so clearly. Someone with a Rav is living life with direction. He understands that if he doesn't know something, he asks. And I'm not talking about doesn't know what bracha to make on a pretzel or whether he's allowed to tie his shoes on Shabbos. I'm talking about that he can also ask, but he has to ask direction. What do I do in such a situation? Should I take this business opportunity? Should I take this, girl as a color? Should I send my kids to this shul? I'll just tell you, my Rosh Hashiva of Scheinberg Zatzal, God Lador, Mamish, unbelievable. So he used to tell us the following. He used to get shilas from all over the world, and he used to tell us that people would come with the interesting shilas, and some of them were such almost petty shilas, right? They're good shilas, they're important shilas, but people spend so long on them. For example, they would spend so long on a spoon that was milchik that went into a pot of chicken soup. What do I do? Am I allowed to use the chicken soup? What about the spoon? Now, it's a very important question to ask. Don't get me wrong. These are great questions, and you should ask if you don't know the halacha what to do. But you ask and move on. But the guy was busy. What if it was ben yoyim, ben yoyim? But maybe I didn't use it. I did use like he was half an hour on the spoon. He's like, half an hour on the spoon. I'll buy you a new spoon. But when you had to decide to move back to Chutz La'aretz, or to marry that girl, or to decide to take that business deal, that you decided on your own. The big decisions, that you decide on your own. Or the little questions that you can spend 20 minutes on. It's the wrong way. I'm not saying not to ask questions. We have to ask questions. We have to train ourselves to always ask questions, and it's the most amazing thing in the world. Ask questions about anything in the world, whether it's halacha, whether it's hashkafa, about the Rebbeinu Shalom, about creation of the world, whatever you want. It's so beautiful to ask questions, okay? But always remember, you need Das Torah. You need Das Torah in your life. You need Torah to guide who we are. And I want to tell you an amazing story. There is a machloikes between the Shulchan Aruch and the Ramah about a lung of an animal, if it is kosher or not kosher. Meaning, if the animal is kosher in this situation. According to the Shulchan Aruch, Rabbi Yosef Kairo, the Rav of Eretz Yisrael, he holds that it's not kosher. The Ramah held it was kosher, right? The Ramah was the Rav in Krakow, right? In Europe. There was a Yid who came to one of the Gedolim. and he had a problem with his lung. And he wanted to know, should he do the surgery in Eretz Yisrael, or should he do it in Chutz La'aretz? He wanted to know, and he came to his Rav. And his Rav told him, the Maisa like this. His Rav told him that the Beis Yosef, the Shulchan Aruch, was the Rav of Eretz Yisrael. He held that that lung problem, which is a very similar to problem, which was discussed by animals, that you have, is treif. And therefore in Eretz Yisrael, not a good idea. Whereas in Chutz La'aretz, which was the Ramah, where he was the Rav, he held that lung was kosher. You should go to Chutz La'aretz and do it over there. He did it over there, and he was Baruch Hashem, he was healed. What does that show us? That shows us when we listen to Das Torah understand how to look into the Torah and tell us how to direct our lives. That's what this week's parasha is telling us, right? Don't deviate, left or right. If the Rabbonim tell you that left is right and right is left, you listen to them. Why? Because they understand life. They understand the Torah. They understand what the Rabban Shalom wants from us. And our job and our perspective is to follow them. So everyone needs a Rav, a Rebbe, a Gadol, a Tzaddik, someone that he connects to, that he asks, that he follows direction. Because that is how our entire lives should be directed by Das Torah. And Das Torah can change everything. It's such an important idea. That's what the Torah is telling us in this week's parasha.